make a prayer, because recently I came to know that the essence of prayer means thanksgiving. So I thank Dr. Samuel Hahnemann, our master, the first revolutionary in medicine, I think, who brought to this world similia similibus curando, the basic principle of homeopathy. I thank late Dr. Prafullu Jekar, my friend, philosopher, and guide, my guru who taught me how to practice miasm-based right homeopathy in the best possible manner. In my life, I find this gentleman, Dr. Rikeje Hammer, as the second revolutionary in medicine who brought German new medicine into this world. And this is Caroline Marcolin, PhD, my GNM teacher, who, with her tireless efforts, very systematically prepared a website which is the authentic learning GNM website, which is giving you the best possible knowledge regarding the new science that is the German new medicine. I thank also my family who was always supporting, my teachers, means authors whom I have read, my patients who are always giving me the research area, and Theorem Trust started supporting me. They conducted so many seminars in Kerala. Thereafter, I formed the national banner, that is GNM India. And recently, on 26th of January, Global GNM is launched with the 2,700 members learning GNM under this banner. I also thank International Forum for Promoting Homeopathy, who gave me this opportunity to present my ideas about it. Health is the most important topic of concern that humanity discussed these days. There's no doubt about that. In 2020, it was about a virus, and in 2021, it is all about a vaccine. When we look around, we see that people are in panic. They are perplexed to see who among their family members, relatives, and friends, and other people whom they know remain alive. But to be frank, I am not in any way panicky. When I say this to my patients, some of them, oh, you might have taken a lot of homeopathic medicines every day. I say openly, I may be the only homeopathic doctor in Kerala or in India, I suppose, who has not taken any preventive medicine during these days. Because knowledge is my strength. And I believe knowledge is power. And very often, why we are not seeing things rightly is because I believe eyes do not see what the mind does not perceive. Therefore, the perception in the mind is the first thing, the prior thing that is essential for seeing and evaluating what is happening around us. And therefore, with that statement, I proceed. Let us try to procure right knowledge about diseases, today's topic. Everyone who is a homeopath listening to me knows that the knowledge of disease is one of the primary essential one that a homeopath should have. That means one should clearly perceive what is to be cured in diseases. That clear perception should surely give one freedom from the fear of diseases. That's what I believe. It is possible, once you rightly understand what is disease, then you can be free from the fear of diseases. And I also believe great truths are born in the laboratories of the mind and not in the laboratories of the world, where we see a lot of machineries exploring the cells, tissues, the physical things. The truths are not born there, I believe. So I believe also the mind is going to be the gold mine in future. Because from now onwards, mind is going to be the precious treasure mind to explore and to explain the phenomenon of disease. We are fed up with searching the secret of the phenomenon of disease in the material world. And it is time that we come back or go in another realm and try to understand what exactly is meant by diseases. It is very well written by Dr. Samuel Hahnemann, who gave the importance of vital force as a fundamental principle of homeopathy. The first revolutionary knowledge I met with. And it is psyche, which Dr. Hammer says, for him it is not the mind, it is not the intellectual mind, the superficial mind, the conscious mind, but it is subconscious mind. I believe it is that subconscious mind where the diseases originate. And that is not at all material. And that level we call dynamism. And therefore, if we qualify somebody as a healthy person, he must have health dynamics in his perfection. And when he becomes sick, when we qualify him or call him as a diseased person or sick person, then his dynamics is affected. And in order to bring him back, what is needed is drug dynamics and never a material drug substance. Until and unless people, the common man, come to understand about the importance of dynamic science as known, homeopathy and German new medicine, return to healthy life will become difficult. We have to wait for that stage or time when all of these spiritual things becomes important. I'm not meaning by that the religion. So truths are not what the majority believe. I want to impress upon your mind. It is not the majority who decides the truths. Maybe a single person like Dr. Hammer, like Dr. Hahnemann, or I'm not naming many who came to this world to give you truths. It is not what majority believe. So homeopathy is likewise a truth, but the majority of the people, even though we passed only 2 centuries, are not understanding what it is. Basic reason is not because they have not come to know about that. Basic reason is that they do not understand this dynamics. That's the main reason. So homeopathy is not understood rightly, I would say, even by many so-called homeopaths, because they are failing to understand the dynamic aspect of a human being, because they are treating human beings. This dynamics is there in all living beings, in all animals, all plants, in this nature. And without understanding this dynamic aspect of our homeopathy, we are not making ourselves good homeopaths. Therefore, majority of the homeopaths, even though they qualify themselves, call themselves, they qualified as homeopaths with their degree and post-graduation, etc., they fail. I'm not finding fault with all, but many are failing to be good homeopaths only because they fail to understand the dynamic aspect of human life. So similarly, German new medicine is a truth, but not even the homeopaths understand. They don't try to understand it. They believe that is something inimical, that is something antagonistic, and that is something a challenge for homeopathy development, etc. But I can assure you, GNM is going to be the fundamental or basis of homeopathy, or homeopathy has to be built upon the basis of GNM. That's my belief, which I am sharing with you. GNM can revolutionize all sciences. It's not only the health sciences, but all sciences, all areas of social life and the economy even. Very often what happens, this sort of truths, if they're opposite to their interests, vested interests, they're all suppressed. They're not allowed to be revealed. It is the same in the case of homeopathy also, and it is the same with German new medicine also. So due to this reason, several unpleasant truths will remain unknown to this world. In this platform, we had a lot of time references to the Flexner report, which came to the world in the form of a report by Abraham Flexner, and this Carnegie Foundation brought it to the world in the year 1910. You know, the American medical profession is now stemming from it. When America holds something, the World Health Organization naturally follows. It's a sort of dogmatism. Even though the so-called alternative systems are given a portfolio or a portion of their interest, whenever important situations come, they are not given the importance. So whatever non-physical became, so what I want to tell you that everybody knows that until that time, the 1/4 of all practitioners, all doctors in America were homeopaths. But thereafter, homeopathy became nil or null. And you know, another very important thing that is important for us is that whatever is non-physical became non-science. That is the landmark importance of this Carnegie Foundations or the Flexner report. Everything has to be purely materialistic or physical, then only it is a scientific thing. So all dynamic aspects of human life, including homeopathy, became a non-science. Of course, GNM came very much afterwards that. So with this background, we are going forward to understand what are diseases. As every layman goes to understand what is disease to the Wikipedia, here you will find the definition given there. A disease is a particular abnormal condition. You note that point, abnormal condition that negatively affects the structure or function of all or part of an organism, and that is not due to any immediate external injury. So one exception is if it is due to external injury, it is not considered as a disease. So diseases are often known to be medical conditions that are associated with specific signs and symptoms. So any child nowadays goes to Google to search what exactly is a particular substance knowledge. And therefore, if we Google it, as the term has come up, if we Google it, we will get this information about disease. It's a disorder, not that point, disorder of structure or function in a human, animal, or plant, especially one that produces specific symptoms or that affects a specific location and is not simply a direct result of physical injury. So exceptions are physical injury or traumatic cases, accident cases, physical, that is separate. But all other things included disorder, abnormal, negative. I know for certain the majority of the people who are attending me this evening are having the same understanding about disease, because disease is something abnormal, disease is something negative, disease is something disorder. So are there really abnormal things happening? Are there really negative things? Are there disorders? This is my topic of discussion today. Dr. Hammer says, no, not at all. Disease is not at all anything disorder, anything negative, or anything abnormal. We very common language we use that disease caught me. I got a fever. Fever came. So, or diabetes caught me, or I was caught by diabetes. Cancer caught him, or disease caught me, etc. These are the expressions which mean to say that this disease is abnormal, negative, disorder, etc. But Hammer says, no, it is not like that. Disease is happening or it is coming from within. The same thing, Dr. Hammer and Dr. Hahnemann are not different because both of them spoke truth. Truth cannot be different or truth cannot be multiple. It is the same. And therefore, The language Dr. Hahnemann used was vital force. It is the dynamic influence. Again, psychic conflicts are the reasons for diseases according to Dr. Hammer. And what he means, again, I am repeating, it is a subconscious mind. So he is giving the definition, that is, diseases are significant biological special programs created to support an individual during unexpected distress. You note 2 or 3 points. One is biological special programs. The old generation may not understand, but the new generation will very easily understand, because they are very much familiar with the term program when they are relating it to the computer world. It is a program created. Who created? By nature, to support an individual, to support. It is not to destroy, not to harm him, but it is to support an individual during unexpected distress. Distress not in the physical level, distress is always in the psychical level or in the subconscious mind. How a particular event in one's life is taken differently by different individuals, but what is important is his psyche, his vulnerability, his tendency to take that conflict or distress is important. And therefore, psyche is the source of diseases. It is from where all the problems come, and it is through the brain. Therefore, whenever we ask a patient sitting in front of me, where is mind situated, then if he is a male person, he will look, touch here, meaning brain. I will say, no, it is not in the brain. Then ladies will come and tell that it is here. What they mean is heart. I will say, no. So it is not a material thing, can be taken in the brain or in the heart. So it is something beyond that. Therefore, we call it as a dynamic thing. So I request all the students and promoters of homeopathy who have come here to attend me to learn the 5 biological laws of nature discovered by Hammer. Because GNM is not at all for homeopaths. It is for the world. It is not for any particular modality like homeopathy. It is for the world. And homeopaths, I repeat, homeopaths can better understand GNM, because a good homeopath knows these dynamic aspects of human life. And that is why homeopathy is also a natural law. We always say nature's law of cure, similia similibus. Therefore, those homeopaths who are good homeopaths, I would say, they can understand GNM better. Regarding the laws of nature, Michael Faraday has made this statement, quote, "Nothing is too wonderful to be true if it is consistent with the laws of nature." So both these sciences are consistent with the laws of nature. Similia similibus curanter, even though it was a revolution, it was something different to the people's thought until that time, but it is nature's law of cure which is brought to this world by Dr. Hahnemann. Similarly, 5 biological laws of nature is such a laws of nature. The nature is in it, and therefore it is brought to the world by Dr. Hammer. So diseases so nothing is in nature is diseased but biologically meaningful. That is what Dr. Hammer said. They are not malfunctions of the organism. Nothing in nature is diseased but biologically meaningful. That is what Dr. Hammer, through his new medical science, tried to make the people understand. Disease is never a malignant phenomenon, and nature is, everything is in nature perfect order. Here I am showing a picture where you will see a cluster of ants suffering in flood. They were in a burrow, they were making their own food, and they were having their shelter and all. But a flood comes. It's a conflict for them. But you see how they are clustered together. They are put together. It is not a logical scientific understanding that if you stay together, clustered together, we can be saved easily. But if you stay alone, there is no philosophy for them. But it's a natural tendency that if a flood comes, they will cluster together. I also want to say to you, similar things in one's life may not be understandable, because a flood for them is not at all understandable, but they know instinctively how to react into such a situations. And what is that? That is what they do. They get together so that this cluster or this grouped content will not be easily destroyed by the flood. We know flood is a perfect natural thing, or there should be rain, and rain we cannot equally distribute in equal parts. Therefore, there will be ups and downs. The quantity will be different. But ants, for them, it's a conflict, and nature has given within them the instinct how to behave, and it is the same happening in all human beings. Whenever a crisis comes, whenever we are in a distress which is not at all expected, unexpected, we behave in a particular fashion, and that is nothing but diseases. And therefore, it is an age-old biological special programs. We will call in GNM no more disease. That is an obsolete word. We will no more call it is a disease, because disease already in our mind gives a negative meaning, and therefore it is a program. When the conflict comes a particular way, this individual reacts, and that is everything is in perfect order. And this program installed in the organism during the course of evolution. Why we do certain things, why our cells react in a way, why certain diseases come. These are all programs installed in the organism during the course of evolution, and the diseases are run in each and every individual organism. And understand, underline, in bold, it is for our survival. So nature never, because this is obstructing my view. That's why I am finding it difficult to read. Nature never turns against its own creations by creating malignant diseases. When we say malignancy, I don't mean the cancer only, but whatever we say, let it be a fever, let it be a diarrhea, let it be a vomiting, let it be a shoulder pain, let it be a backache. Everything, if we say that it is something negative, it is something wrong, it is something harmful, no, nature is not hostile. Nature is not hostile. Therefore, diseases are not malfunctioning of the organism. We all doctors think like that. One who is not knowing GNM will think that this is a dysfunction. Disease is a dysfunction. No, diseases are not errors of nature. Nature never go in error. So only organ level explanation is there. That is the tragedy of the medical science. Only organ level, only physical level, only material level explanations are there. We are not our body and its parts. So it is the concept, or it is the understanding that is given by the physical medical science to the world, that, oh, all a part of the body, which the organ is affected, this tissue is affected, this cell is making the change, the blood is making this change. No, Dr. B.M. Hegde has very nicely given this understanding. Our body is not a bag full of chemical formulas. SGOT has to be this much, SGPT has to be this much, PSA has to be this much, testosterone has to be this much. No, that is not the beginning of the problem. Problem is somewhere, and that problem, that somewhere is nothing but the psyche, the mind. Therefore, the interpretations which are saying that they are all dysfunctions, that is wrong. Interpretations not scientific. According to Dr. Hammer, they are not to be in medicine. Something interpret. This can be because of this. This can be because of this. We need good medicine and good science, and that is GNM. So GNM gives everyone the freedom from the scare of diseases, including cancers. Why I say including cancers means for everybody the cancer is the biggest, most difficult, most tragedy, but it is not like that. You see, this is the person who said this thing. Nobody will die of cancers, but everybody can die from the fear of cancers. I repeat, nobody will die of cancers, but anybody can die from the fear of cancers. It is such a horrible understanding about this cancer that is prevalent in the society. or the public are given this and it is made a big, I'm not selling anything, a big business. So there is nothing abnormal, there is nothing negative, there is nothing to be panicky about, there is nothing to be scary, no need of fear when we get some symptoms, because these are all within the biological, normal, natural program. So my attempt is to guide you to an understanding of diseases free of fear and panic. I wish to give you freedom from the fear of diseases by asking you to learn GNM, German New Medicine. It is possible to remove this negativity, this abnormality about diseases. And disease phenomenon, if we understand through German New Medicine, we can be very boldly, we can be very free from the fear of diseases. It is a new consciousness, it's a new understanding. So through the evolution of the humanity, we possessed an inexhaustible creativity and remarkable self-healing capabilities. It is not a one-day business. It is not a one-generation business. We had been through so many generations, and we are only in the last link of a chain of generations. We know how to react. It is all programmed. When father's half cell, mother's half cell join together to form the primordial cell, single individual, then the program is installed. Therefore, each cell of our body has a biological wisdom which we share with all living beings in the nature. How can a nature, our own mother nature, be inimical to its creations? It is unbelievable. Therefore, the psyche, brain, and body, they are the three important components of a human being. We will understand it is not only in human beings, in all animals. We will understand it is also a component of a living plant also, even though the psyche, the brain, etc. are not that developed as the case of human beings. So considering them, these three aspects as separate or differentiation of the trio is only the of academic interest. We may speak about this psychic conflict, psyche, its qualities, etc. It's all for academic interest. In reality, they are one unit. So considering them as separate entities is the greatest tragedy in the practice of medicine. Psyche is the subconscious mind. Entirely new approach. You must be understanding. It's an entirely new approach. The origin of disease is in the psyche. The role of the brain as the mediator between our emotions and the diseased organ. So the brain is the mediator. The psyche gets to suffer from, I don't say suffer, affected by the conflict, and this transfers to particular organ to make certain changes in the organism as a part of this program. So unexpected emotional distress is the cause of all diseases. This is the conclusion of German New Medicine. And whatever causes, I don't have time to explain all the possible unscientific, just imaginative fantasies in the medicine, and everybody is telling his own way of explanation. Every practitioner will have his own way of explaining why the what you call hydrocele comes, how the hemorrhoids or piles comes. I would say not a single doctor who does not know GNM knows why somebody gets a common cold. You will get angry with me. Not a single doctor who does not know GNM knows why one coughs. So simple. Vomiting cannot be explained without knowing GNM. A diarrhea cannot be explained. Then what to speak about a colon cancer, lung cancer, brain cancer, bone cancer? Tissues respond differently, like a tumor in some conditions. In some conditions, heart conditions, tissue loss, all these according to the tissue and its relation with the germinal layer from which it is all caused. For example, colon cancer. You know, it is because of an indigestible morsel conflict according to Dr. Hammer. Something remains in the mind which is not digested. That is not food, need not be food, can be food. So some idea, some stress, some distress remains in the mind which is not digested, and that can give rise to the development of a colon cancer. There is no need that every disease has to be given a medication. So when I was presenting a seminar in Hyderabad, my organizers, my friends, of course, they came and, doctor, don't talk about GNM as something not needing to prescribe. You should prescribe. I am from homeopathy community. Every doctor asks, is it a medicine? Which medicine? What? It is German, imported from Germany. No doctors, no friends, there is no need of prescribing. It is nature's method of cure. You sit and watch, but understand what is happening. Very seldom we need to administer medicines, because when we assess, two steps are there, or two phases are there in a part of every disease. If he is in the conflict active phase, try to diminish his conflicts. If he is healing, allow him to get healed. Strengthen his mind. Make him understand what is happening with you. Then everything becomes easy. If he is in conflict active phase, identify the conflict. Develop a strategy to resolve it. Prepare the patient for the healing symptoms. I confess here, I give homeopathy remedy to every patient. Also because I know the whole process of every disease, and I believe that at every stage of a program, there are homeopathy medicines that we can give very effectively, very efficiently, so that every symptom, whether it is in the conflict active stage or healing stage, can be diminished by making use of homeopathic dynamized medicines. I repeat here, I use only dilution and not at all a low potency or no mother tincture I use. So we will go forward to understand 5 biological laws of nature. 5 biological laws of nature, just as we say the fundamental principles of homeopathy, they are the fundamental principles of GNM. They explain the causes of diseases and their natural healing processes. It is reproducible and valid in each and every patient's case. In which other medical science you will get this statement, this is by Dr. Hammer. It should be reproducible and it should be valid in each and every patient's case. Not 99.9% possible. No, it is 100% because it is a nature's method of cure. Statistics is not the supporting thing for a knowledge. 95% possibility. No possibility, no hypothesis. The 5 biological laws only will teach you the truth of diseases. So it's discovered by Dr. Hammer, and he explains why a specific disease occurs. Why a specific disease occurs without any doubt. He can say, if it is common cold, if it is earache, it is a toothache, upper molar, right side, right shoulder pain, left shoulder pain, gastritis, any disease. I would say it can be satisfactorily explained only by the German New Medicine. That is my understanding after this much lengthy life of search for the knowledge in medical science. A person who does not know GNM cannot explain a muscle disorder, a skin rash, a common cold, stroke, thyroid conditions, diabetes. We all will say diabetes is because of the increased blood sugar. Nobody knows why it is increased. I took this topic because recently we were talking about thyroid disease one day, and thyroid, there is treatment for thyroid. This medicine is good for this, or the best medicine among this. That is not the thing. Why hypothyroidism occurs? Nobody knows if he does not know GNM. Why hyperthyroidism occurs? Why goiter happens? So why a heart condition, and that too, different types of conditions. Angina pectoris, why? Why coronary artery disease? No, it is not because of the cholesterol increase. In number of cases where the death happened because of the CAD, coronary artery diseases, the biopsy done, many of the cases, the blockage business is not there and the blockage theory is not happening. Why a certain type of cancer? No cancer expert. We homeopaths are cancer specialists that cannot say why a bone cancer happens, one breast cancer happens, and that too breast cancer in the glandular breast cancer, why it is milk duct cancer, why it is in the right side, why it is in the left side, why a tumor grows very fast, some very slowly, why in children some diseases occur. These are all just imaginations, just fantasies. These 9, 10, 12 causes are given, and finally there will be a mental causes or psychic causes will be a reason or something like that. So these are things what we are learning. So why disease including cancers in mammals? That is explainable only in this biological conflicts or biological 5 laws. So what is the basic problem of the patients in your palliative care? Because we had a session on palliative care, homeopathy is the best, I agree. But a person who is specialized in the pain and palliative or palliative care should know what is wrong with this patient in the psychic level, what triggered for this patient to develop this particular disease. So in the cancer care, the thyroid care, everywhere. So even in psychiatric cases, so-called psychiatric cases, which we often say, that is not at all understood. 2 days back, we had a OCD case was explained. So that doctor is telling, I'm not finding fault with my friend doctor, my friend's wife and all. But what I mean to say is that why OCD happens, nobody knows. Why homosexuality happens. These are all explained very clearly. So human personalities, why that personality is a megalomaniacal personality, why he is obese type, why he is a lazy person, why he is a postponing type person. All these are very beautifully explained by Dr. Hammer in the chapter that is schizophrenic constellations. Constellations means a number of conflicts together. I understand with much sympathy that this has all happened among the homeopaths because of some historical reasons. As everybody knows, in 1973, when we had the good opportunity of the Central Council of Homeopathy or the Homeopathy Central Council Act in the Parliament, and when the syllabus was formed by the veterans, by the pioneers in the field of homeopathy, and not finding fault with them, they just copied and pasted the 80% of the conventional medicine syllabus and they added homeopathy to it. I have written Put and Pira, that the only Malayalis or the Keralites will very easily understand. I have shown a dish, which is a very common dish for the Keralites in the South India. They use it for, they take it for the breakfast. You can see it is put, it's a steamed cake rice powder, over which or in between some crumbs of coconut will be put for taste purpose. Similarly, we copied all the allopathic knowledge and we made it a part of our syllabus, and we added here and there some repertorization, some materia medica, some philosophy, and we made the homeopathic training. And we are continuing the same thing. And very tragedy, if I visit, I had visited to so many colleges, it's a tragedy to understand that this is becoming very outstanding, or it is becoming an intense manner, because homeopathic students are sometimes more knowledgeable than even a MBBS student. They make it very in-depth knowledge they are gaining in the material field, but they are lacking to understand what is the disease, etc. So it is the time for unlearning and relearning the truths. I believe I have always shared with you, with my members, time for a divorce from conventional medicine and a remarriage with GNM. You may not be, many of my participants or many of my listeners may not agree that we are not following allopathy or anything like that. But if you understand in the framework of GNM, you will understand that majority of the knowledge, 80% of the knowledge that we carry forward with us during our practice is nothing but the so-called allopathy, which we homeopaths call, and the old medicine, which GNM people call. We are doing a very criminal thing if we don't study, or if we don't learn GNM, because for the sake of the suffering humanity, we have to understand what is happening with this patient. So we'll come in a very fast speed to understand what is each 5 biological laws. So every disease, and it is a repetition, every disease originates from a conflict shock It's emotionally distressing event for which we are not prepared and which we could not anticipate. That catches an individual completely off guard, or we are unexpected. So this conflict must have a characteristic of unexpectedness. It is not expected. My father is going to die. He is sick, bedridden for a long period. He will die. It may not produce a conflict. But if he met with an accident, a motor accident, very severely damaged, unexpected death of my father can be, husband, children, can be a very serious conflict, which according to the programs within our body will react showing symptoms. And you see, I have shown the subjectivity or subjective. That is very important because that is very much going in tune with homeopathy. We know that the conflicts are taken in by it subjectively, and it is producing symptoms subjectively, and it is nothing but the miasm according to our knowledge. So the first biological law says that conflict shock is subjective. It is not psychosomatic. Very often when GNM is put to the attention of somebody, a psychologist, for example, he will say, oh, it is psychosomatic. No, it is known for the scientific world for a long time. It is not like that. Somebody very much specialized in psychology says that, oh, we have learned already. It is post-traumatic stress disorder. No. It may appear to be not new for the holistic treatment methods. For homeopaths, it is nothing new. We have been prescribing all our medicines based on the mind, because mind is the most important thing according to our philosophy, and we have been basing our prescription on mind. It was true, but Dr. Hamer's discoveries went far beyond that. I will go through this or show this slide in a very fast speed, because these are some examples you will understand. The glandular breast cancer is because of a nest worry conflict. You know what is nest? So within the nest, if the lady is the mother bird and she feels the worry about one of the members of her family member or nest, she suffers from the glandular breast cancer. I told already, the colon cancer is because of an indigestible morsel conflict. Morsel is a portion of meal that we take, and it is not getting digested. It may be due to the food also. It may be because of the food, but it's a figurative way of understanding and explaining. It is something that remains in my system, which is not getting digested. It can be a deal. It can be a partition of my parents. It can be a loss of my property. It can be a misbehavior, a dishonest behavior from the part of the partner. So anything can cause indigestible morsel that can cause colon cancer. I have got hundreds of number of experiences, cases to give, and it is because of the support of these cases which come to my clinic every day that I am very boldly telling all these things. These are all nothing but truths and truths. Lung cancer, it is nothing but, lung cancer is not the thing. Anything that is happening in the lung, it is somewhere depending or related to the death fright, fear of dying. And what about the kidney? It is all about abandonment conflict or isolation conflict or existence conflict or hospitalization conflict. So these are the conflicts that very often we suffer when we are feeling isolated, etc. Prostate cancer, many of you may be knowing, it is all related to the male sexual conflict. It is a procreation conflict. It may be a gender conflict. If somebody is having a bone cancer, it need not be cancer also. It can be, it need not be a lymphoma or multiple, the basic cellular depletion. It can be even osteoporosis. It can be even anemia. It can be even leukemia. So all these are put together under this category, a bone cancer. So that is nothing but self-devaluation conflict. The person himself feels devalued, and that is the reason for all these affections of the bone. Ovarian cancer, it is because of a profound loss conflict. Somebody very close to me, maybe my brother, maybe my sister, maybe my child, separated. That means lost. So cervical cancer, it is always something related with female sexual conflict. It is not because we found a particular papilloma virus or something and this causes this. No. If the Similarly, if I'm not telling, similarly, if the urinary tract infection, it is not the bacteria that come and make the problem. It is the conflict of territory marking conflict. It is not given here. So intraductal breast cancer, it is all about a separation conflict. So here, three aspects are given. Number one is not being able to escape. Suppose a child is given forcibly a vaccination. So the child is taken to the dressing room or the pharmacy room in a hospital, and he is forcibly snatched from the mother and given the jab. And then what happens? He feels, I am forcibly tied up. I cannot escape. And that is the reason for all muscular weakness, including paralysis. Number two, there is a scenario, I don't know whether you can see it clearly. Mother, the wife at the doorsteps, and the father or the husband is taking a bag and leaving her home, and that is causing a separation conflict. So depending upon the way how she gets the conflict, whether it is a sexual conflict, whether it is a starvation conflict, whether it is a separation conflict in the physical level, touch, that depending upon that conflict, how she takes it, the different tissues affected all will be different. One thing can be a cervical issue, another starvation conflict can affect her liver, and if it is a touch, it can affect this sexual parts. If she is not getting the touch which she wanted, it can be on the breast or in the pubic area, etc. So death fright conflict. You see, in our college days, we were studying about the primary complex, etc., or the disease tuberculosis. Tuberculosis is nothing but the opacities we are finding in the lung field, and that is nothing but death fright conflict. It can be even a child who had a dream, that is very much going with homeopathy. We had a very terrible dream of dying. That can cause a primary complex, etc. I'm not explaining this. So psyche is the leading component in the whole program of the disease program, and it is subjective, 100% subjective, and these are called biological conflicts. Some of the examples also I will give. Dr. Shaji, how much time I will be getting?
You have 1 hour to complete. 1 hour, 2 minutes are left.
1 hour, 2 minutes.
How long it will take?
No, I can go. I'm asking you how much discussion and how much
time more you need to complete more or less satisfactorily.
Okay. Some 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
I will go
that
for
will 1.5 hours anyway.
I'll try to finish it. Sorry. So this is the examples I already told. If it is the breast, it is controlled by the cerebellum, and the conflict is nest-ovary conflict. It is a separation conflict. The milk ducts can be affected. They can produce cancer there. If it is colon, already explained, it is indigestible mode. What is to be noted is that picture below that you are seeing is the brain stem, which is having very particular sites of control for the ascending colon, appendix, transverse colon, descending colon, etc. If it is the lung alveoli, I already explained, it is the death fright conflict. That is also controlled by the brain stem. There are two different points where the left lung is controlled and the right lung is controlled. Similarly, kidney collecting tubules, the yellowish the color is given to the brain stem control. There you will see in the front aspect, anterior aspect of the brain stem, the controlling centers of the kidney. You know, kidney has got three tissues. One is the parenchyma, another is the kidney collecting tubule, and even the renal pelvis. They are all from different or three different germinal layers. They are formed, and therefore they are having different controlling centers in the brain, and their reactions or the changes also are different. Prostate gland and their sexual conflict already said, and the physical, the bones and joints, all because of the self-devaluation conflict. Ovaries I told, it is testicles I told, the disease which is historically important for GNM because Hammer developed testicular cancer following the death of his 19-year-old beloved son. Cervical mucosa I told, it is all about a sexual conflict. So I will go to the second biological law, which says that you will see a blue and a red part. And the blue is the part where immediately following a conflict activity and the patient is in the conflict activity. It can extend to any length of time, any length of any intense, it can be vary. And once it is healed, that is called conflictolysis. And thereafter, the following stage is called healing phase or warm phase. The first phase is called cold phase. It is all sympathetic system controlled, and therefore the first part is called sympathetic tonic, and the second part during the healing phase we are the. So the second biological law very essentially says that every disease has two parts. One before the healing or one before the resolution of the conflict. The second part following the resolution of the conflict. All symptoms belong to these two phases of the program we call diseases. So some symptoms before the resolution. So naturally, if the resolution happens, then only the second phase will come in. And by the very essential meaning of symptom development, most stressful, more distressing, disturbing symptoms come during the healing phase or the second phase during which we are suffering. So the first phase, these are the characteristic symptoms. The patient will be mentally stressed, preoccupied with the stress, cold extremities, little appetite, sleep disturbance, loss of weight, etc. And that is called also day phase, because everybody is suffering during the sympathetic nervous system prominence will be there, and that is called the cold phase. In second phase, we are seeing the most characteristic inflammatory changes, including the fever, including the heat, painful swelling, pus, discharge, bleeding, infections, underlying infections. I'm not going to explain because it is a sensitive issue. I'm not talking about these infections. Harmer says, infections is nothing strange. It is happening during the healing phase, and it is a essential part of the healing phase. And here the parasympathetic prominence is there, and that is where we get fever, heat, and that is usually happening during the night phase. So why a child gets fever increase during night only can be explained by GNM. So second part usually labeled as diseases, because that is the area where disturbing symptoms are there, and that is usually called as diseases. But in fact, they are symptoms of the natural healing process. I explained already. The autonomic nervous system is playing its important role in the development and the culmination of the disease program. This is already explained. This is the third law, biological law, because here you will see those lines showing the brain is divided into two. One is old brain and the new brain. Old brain consisting of the brain stem and the cerebellum. New brain consisting of the cerebral medulla and the cerebral cortex. So these particular areas of the brain are controlling particular tissues of the body, which have got specific source of origin in the germinal layers. So the brainstem controlled tissues are all controlled, or they are all originating from the old brain development. So you see that red line, that is the most important thing I would like to invite the attention of all of you, because it is all in the healing phase. So when we get an edema, whether it is on the face, in the umbilicus, or a pedal edema, we are alarmed, telling that something is wrong. It is not the wrong or something wrong in the feet or on the face or on the abdomen. The pain is not the problem. Pain is something very, very positive. Patient will get angry with you if you say that inflammation is okay, fever is okay, night sweats are okay, discharges, even bleeding is good, because it is a part of the healing process of the body. Patient comes, of course, for getting the relief. Why? We are not able to say that this bleeding is okay, because it is having a cause in the psychic level. That is the most important thing. So this is very, very, very important for you, for every practitioner. When you get the last point, you see, it is only after learning GNM that I understood that fatigue is good. If we gave a homeopathy medicine and the patient is complaining of fatigue, very often we say that, oh, the patient, the medicine has not acted properly. No, you make a second thought and understand that it can be a positive thing, that it can be a symptom of healing. And the most controversial, most sensitive topic which Hammer said is, it is the beneficial role of microbes. Microbes live with us, have been living in this universe even before we came to inhabit on this globe. So they were here and they occupied their own exact position. And this threshold is decided by the evolution. Certain microbes will remain only in the old brain controlled tissues. There will be cell augmentation during the conflict activity stage. There will be healing, and this healing, taking away the tissues developed in the form of a tumor following the conflict activity, will be taken away by these microbes. And therefore, in order to remove the debris, in order to do the clearing process, building of new fresh tissue, it is the job of these microbes. And therefore, according to Dr. Hammer, none of these microbes are harmful. You take the case of fungi, you take the mycobacteria, because the mycobacteria, the TB, tuberculosis, bacillus, which we say, they are the oldest microbes. They occupy the oldest tissues controlled by the brainstem and cerebellum. You come to the middle area, and it is the threshold for bacteria, and that is controlling, or that is inhabiting the tissues developed from the mesoderm tissues and controlled by the cerebral medulla and the top of the above. And that is the area where we, if at all virus exists, and that is the area of virus. Virus you cannot see, you will not find, because of the GNM principles in the tissues controlled by the brainstem, you will not find. And that is therefore, it is a part of the program. And Dr. Hammer gave to the world the very, very, very important to this period, the knowledge that microbes cannot do any harm to you. This is the exact understanding that virus is having its own threshold where it can work. Bacteria, the common bacteria, Streptococcus, Staphylococcus, Pneumococcus, etc., are having a particular area of activity, and the yellow area where you will find the fungi, etc. So, classification of microbes in relation to embryonic germ layers and areas of brain controlling microbial activity. Microbes work in well-controlled and well-planned manner. In normotonia and in conflict active phase, microbes are dormant. As soon as the conflict is resolved, they start their assigned work. As everybody knows, this is a very sensitive information, and therefore I am not explaining too much, because one word I would say, this is a topic which deserves no discussion now. So, and going forward, what Hammer said is, if viruses exist, then, because he was not able to identify viruses, even his followers could not identify the viruses of HIV or AIDS. Therefore, he stands here only. If virus exists, that will surely assist the reconstruction of cerebral cortex controlled tissues. We do not understand why virus is in the nasal mucous membrane, virus is in the bronchial mucous membrane. That is all explained very nicely by Dr. Hammer. The fifth and the last biological conflict is significant biological special program of nature created to assist an organism during the biological conflict. This is the quintessence, or the most important area of the 5 biological laws. And I would now stop, because even though I have prepared some more slides, because of the deficiency of time, I will not take much of your very valuable time. You read this thing, the 5th biological law, or the quintessence of GNM, says that, this is a quote from Dr. Hammer, all so-called diseases have a special biological meaning. Mother Nature is not fallible. She never makes mistakes and cause breakdowns. You call it malignant or senseless or degenerative, cancerous growths, etc. So we can now see truth as scales fall from our eyes. Ignorance, pride, blindness, foolishness are roots of senseless, soulless, and brutal old medicine. You know what is old medicine according to German New Medicine. It is full of wonder. We can now understand for the first time in the history of humankind that nature is orderly. Nature is orderly. And that every occurrence in nature is meaningful. Nothing in nature is meaningless and malignant or diseased. what Dr. Hammer said when he found out these 5 biological laws following the death of his beloved son. He said that it was God's destiny that I found it out, because the so-called old medicine is going away from finding the truth, telling this and that, confusing the people. But a person, if I couldn't do it, a person in future will surely come to this area to reveal the truth. That is what Dr. said. Some more slides are there. I am not going, and therefore I am here winding up my presentation. And I thank you for your patient hearing. I will show one more slide. That's the last slide. Sorry. It's not moving. Did you disallow me to share my screen? Okay, it's all right. I thank you for your patient hearing. I request all of you, if you have got any question to be asked, then